Today's episode is brought to you by Forvis Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. In today's world, agility is an important characteristic for a successful business. But exactly how and when should a leader be disruptive? Businesswoman and entrepreneur Remi Pearson founded the Coaching Institute, which has now trained more than 10,000 coaches in about 100 countries. She's also the author of 7 books, including Disruptive Leadership, 4 Simple Steps to Creating the Winning Team. Remi Pearson is speaking to Jeff Waters about her view on good leaders challenging convention and questioning the status quo.
Disruptive leadership is the idea that if we accept the status quo without questioning it, we create an environment in our organisations that's too safe for people to be unproductive, and it attracts people who don't want to succeed and thrive and strive. Disruptive leadership is the idea if we can question what's permanent and create something different from it. So think inductively. We create an environment where truly talented, excellent people will be attracted to your organisation, want to join, and will become a part of its momentum and its movement.
A lot of people might think that they're contradictory terms. Disruptive leadership, what would you say to them?
It depends on how you define disruption. So to me, disruption is to question the status quo and to question what is considered permanent, with the idea that something better may be able to emerge. Not necessarily, but if we're not the leader that's questioning, we're a manager. If we're a manager who's questioning, we're moving towards leadership.
You write that there are 4 steps to becoming a disruptive leader. What are they, and how does each help build a better team?
The idea behind disruptive leadership is built on a model, a thinking model I developed many years ago. It's called the Critical Alignment Model, CAM, and it's built on 4 steps, 4 stages, each with the idea the most important element of any organisation is your people. That's it. Your people are the organisation. The organisation doesn't exist or get to do what it does without them. So a lot of people say we put our people first. But I believe there are 3 steps that an organisation needs to put in place to truly believe their people come first. And they're ESINP, environment, structure, implementation, and then people. So I place people last because I believe there's work as a leader I need to do before I can create an environment where my team can thrive and strive. Environment is the elements that are unmeasurable. It's the qualitative aspects of your organisation. It's the vision, the values, the standards, the attitude, the expectations, the way we're going to do things around here. Do that before you tell me people are first. Create something exactly that is going to attract the type of people that are going to be phenomenal in that environment. Second step, take care of structure. Get your infrastructure sorted. Get the structure in place, get the benchmarks in place, get the KPIs in place, have every system, every to-do list, every piece of strategy organized before you tell me your person is the problem. Thirdly, decide what has to be implemented by whom. Have really clear lines of authority, really clear set of functions, really clear communication about who's responsible for what. Then you can tell me that you've got a problem with a person, and then you can tell me you're ready to develop a person to their true potential, because now we get to P, which is people. Who are they? Why are they there? What is it they want to achieve? How are you developing them? What are you caring about when it comes to them, and what do they care about? And an environment where the environment is taken care of, so the culture, where the structure is taken care of, where what we have to care about is clearly communicated, that person can thrive.
So the first step should be what?
The first step is, as a leader, get very self-aware around where you are not competent. Most leaders fall into the trap of being strong in implementation. They know what they want done, and they know who they think should do it. They neglect the E and the S, the environment, the culture, and they neglect the structure. They don't have an infrastructure in place where someone could pick up their role and do it and succeed. There's a lot of Chinese whispers and telling one person what someone needs to do and then changing the rules for someone else. So being very self-aware of where our gaps are in the critical alignment model is step one. Once we've identified the gaps, we need to address the gap, because that gap is how our team will fail. If we don't have every dimension in place, that person can't succeed to their full potential.
So if we follow these 4 steps that you outline, what results can we expect?
The companies and the teams and the individuals that utilize them make better decisions. They project manage with a clear sense of direction. They can manage through challenges that before would have defeated them. It removes the subjective sense of, I feel this is the right way to go. It removes, this is how we've always done this. It removes the defensiveness or the desire to keep the status quo. And it invites and encourages our team to start thinking differently, outside of the box, to create new solutions and new pathways forward. Eventually, the result is the people who never wanted to play at a high level are discouraged from being in the organization and find a place where they're way better suited. But the people who want to thrive and strive and succeed and be productive and contribute to something that matters are attracted. So the ultimate result is we create truly a culture where people matter.
So it seems you're taking us on a path towards agility. Is that the fair thing to say?
Yes, it's agility through induction. So there's a difference between inductive thinking and deductive. Deduction looks at what is. It looks at the print on the page. The induction looks at the white of the page. This is a form of thinking that I teach that teaches us as leaders or future leaders how to look at the white of the page and not just see nothing. How do we create something out of nothing is the whole point of leadership. That is how you disrupt a marketplace. That's how they've all done it. Uber, Amazon, the list goes on and on. Every single one of them created something out of nothing. They did not look at the black on the page, the words. They looked at the space.
Can you think of some examples in your own experience that could help illustrate how it all works?
A really simple example would be someone comes into your organization and they are really appalling at taking feedback. And we immediately think they need to be better at taking feedback. That's on them. They're too defensive. They're too hard to work with. They're not a match. But before we do that, using the critical alignment model, there are 3 other stages we have to go through. Stage 1, are we clear on around here in this culture, we give feedback? Have we clearly communicated what that cultural expectation is? Stage 2, structure. Is it documented? Is it clearly explained? Is it taught as they onboard in their induction process about feedback, what to expect around it, how to receive it, how to give it? Stage 3, implementation. Did the person giving the feedback do it in a way that's aligned with the environment and the structure? And if all of that is true, then we can say, yes, this person needs to be retrained and developed when it comes to feedback, because we did it according to our cultural expectations and high standards. But generally, my experience is if we go back, the leader has skipped a step. They didn't explain when that person came on board. Around here, feedback is straight up and it's without the sugar. Or around here, we expect you to take feedback, to learn from it, to learn, grow, and improve. If that step's missing, we can't expect this person to know that they're meant to be open and willing to receive feedback. We failed the person because we said people come first, but we didn't take care of the other 3 steps.
That was Remi Pearson, coach, author and founder of the Coaching Institute. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Forvis Mazars. To find out more, visit forvismazars.com/au. That's FORVISMAZARS.com/au.